Welcome back to Last Request Barbecue. Today, something special. It's a two-day cook. We are making Palestinian chicken. What is that? Well, if you're a fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of my favorite shows of all time, there's an episode where Larry goes into this restaurant and he has chicken and it's the best chicken ever. I was intrigued, so lo and behold, I picked up this copy of Binging with Babish, one of my favorite YouTube shows, and he, in this book, takes apart a wonderful array of recipes from TV shows and movies, including Palestinian chicken. So we're gonna make it today. It's amazing. We're gonna have chicken, it's got sumac, it's got yogurt, it's got dill, lemon. Let's get started. Let's get started. So we got a mess of stuff here. We're going to do actually two chickens because I want to do one following the Babish recipe and one I want to add some garlic, which is a suggestion from my executive chef, Emmett. So I'm going to roast some garlic and put that in with it. So one, we're going to follow the recipe pretty much exactly, and the other, we are going to roast some garlic. And none of the crab varieties on today because we're just doing prep work. So there's lots of prep. And then it sits into our fridge for the day. All right, so let's get started prepping our chickens. We're gonna spatchcock the chicken or otherwise cut it flat. All right, let's get this out of here. All right, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna cut some of that stuff off, but our objective is to cut this bone off here. And again, using these scissors, special scissors, they're not that expensive, but they're made, kind of purpose made. You try using regular scissors, yeah, it's not impossible, but these things make it easy. No crunching, which isn't the best sound in the world. And then you just find the other side of the bone, you know. This thing's bone. I guess that would be some poetic justice, but whatever. We'll leave that for anyone else. And you cut that spine right out there, and then another cut right here. And then we just give that a crack down. There, you can hear that crack right down. There we go. And you've got a flattened chicken. Now, we are going to cut some of this off because this is not doing anybody any good. A little bit of neck, but that's all right. We'll just cut that off. Always being careful that anything that touches the chicken stays in one kind of place. All right, so that's our chicken ready to go. And let's do the second one. Same thing. Take your time doing this because, like I said, you don't want to be cutting through your fingers, so keep your fingers well away in this one. You know, you could buy these spatchcock chickens like this, particularly flavored places at grocery stores, which is cool, but with these scissors, it is pretty easy to do your own. So, all right, and there we go. So get two bowls. We need 1 cup of a Greek yogurt. I can just tell that's a cup, so I'm just gonna plop that right in there. So 1 cup Greek yogurt. Next, we need some shallots. 2 shallots finely minced. Let's see how fine I can mince these. Now these are tiny shallots actually, so I'm gonna do 3, just to be safe. You know, I'm kind of new to shallots. In the past couple of years, I thought shallots, honestly, I kind of thought shallots were like onions. I was always substituting a different type of product instead of shallots. And then I found out the wonderfulness of shallots. There's a nice garlicky flavor. All right, so into our mix that goes. And now we add some dill. So this is a huge amount of dill, so I am going to cut this one in half. Half for this and half for the other one. Let's cut this dill up equally fine. Into our mix it goes. All right, next up, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now next up is zest from 1 lemon. So let's zest our lemon. Thank you, Lee Valley Tools, for the zester. Check that out. You definitely don't want to get into the white part. Never get too deep because if you get too deep, that's very bitter. All right, another tool from Lee Valley Tools, my favorite lemon and lime squeezer. Limes are a bit big. Here we go. Look at that juice pouring out. Check that out so far. All right, coming together nicely. Now, 2 of the magic ingredients, sumac. Put about a tablespoon of sumac. That's about a tablespoon right there. And ground cardamom. I got this, by the way, it's a little hard to find both of these things. I got it from Adonis here in Toronto, Mississauga. It is actually a great, wonderful store with great Middle Eastern products, hard to find. And it's actually a division of my friends at Metro. There we go, that's about a tablespoon. And we are done. Let's mix that up. This is our rub for the chicken. All right, now, into the bag it goes. Again, we're doing 2. The other, I'm going to do the exact same recipe, except I'm going to mix in garlic. So we're just using a freezer bag here, nothing fancy, but a nice thick freezer bag will do you well, so it doesn't leak, because this is a very saucy bit. There we go. All right, let's seal this up. And then what you really want to do is move this around. Now the yogurt has enzymes in it that are going to soften up the chicken, but all these seasonings will impart, I believe, an amazing flavor. All right, we're done. Into the fridge, 24 hours. And let's get started working on the next one, which will be the same, except I'm going to add roasted garlic. One tip that I almost forgot is put it on tray into the fridge. That way, if by any chance any of this leaks, it leaks into the tray. So there's a little tip for you. It's 24 hours later, and here is one of our 2 chickens. One's already on cooking. Check that out. What I noticed about this one versus the other chicken is it's a bit darker. Why is it a bit dark? Because this one has some of the roasted garlic in it, so it's actually made the marinade a bit darker. Other than that, it looks fantastic. It smells amazing. So this is ready to go on the Yoder. I got the Yoder set at 400 degrees. I'm using hickory pellets. You could probably use any pellets. Hickory will add a nice flavor to these for sure. And then once these go into the Yoder, I'm going to make some toom. What is toom? Well, it's a lot of garlic. I'm not sure I need all this garlic. Lemon, canola oil, salt, pepper, and makes a delicious paste that goes alongside. But first, let's get this going into the Yoder. It's not a big chicken, so I expect that to take about 45, 50 minutes, but we'll put a thermometer in it and we'll keep an eye on it. All right, our chicken is on the Yoder. I just opened up our Yoder app. I always started a bit hot, so I just adjusted it back down to 400. So probe 1, 70. Probe 1 is the chicken with no roasted garlic. Probe 2 is our second chicken, the one we just put in. So you can see one's been in a little longer, so we'll keep an eye on things thanks to the Fireboard app. Now let's get to work on our toom. Now, Babish spells it T-O-U-M. I've seen it spelled T-O-O-M. Basic ingredients. We've got lemon, garlic, canola oil, and a bit of S&P, salt and pepper, and our mixer. So let's get cutting open. The recipe calls for 8 to 12 garlic buds. I'm using Ontario garlic here. In case you're wondering, it's what I prefer to use. I always look for the country of origin of the garlic, and I do not buy the overseas garlic because I find it kind of flavorless, actually. Just like I like my lemons from South Africa. I find their flavor far, far more intense. All right, I've got it all out of the shell, and I'm just going to crush these one at a time. And then that'll pop out more easily out of its skin. I made this once, and I didn't put the salt pepper in, and boy, it packed a punch. So I'm going to see if the salt pepper, Emmett suggests the salt pepper to take some of the edge off. So there's supposed to be 8 to 12 big buds. These are probably 18, 20 small buds. So, all right, so step 1, turn it on, and we make it into just a paste and get these things going. Let's see how that goes. We have achieved thick paste. Yeah, check that out. Now we want to drizzle in half a cup of canola oil. And so in this device here, check this out. I never realized this till like a year ago. It's got this hole in here, and I was wondering why he's got a hole in here. Well, you pour it in, and it helps you distribute the olive oil or whatever you're putting in. So we're going to use that. Let's see how this goes. All right, that's about half. You can see it moving down here as it distributes itself in. Wow, look at that, how it's turned into a nice paste. And now we're going to squeeze in our lemons. Look at that juice running out. Fantastic. Now I'm going to put in some salt and pepper. I'm not sure the calls for the pepper, but I'm going to add it anyway. I want to see how it reacts. And now we're going to put the rest, and this is actually a little more than half a cup because it's a little more garlic than called for. There you go. All right. Let's take a look. Oh, this looks amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's give you a look. Look at that. It's a nice consistency. Perfect, exactly what we're going for. Let's give it a taste. Bright, powerful, delicious, absolutely delicious. This is not a first date thing, by the way. All right, the aroma coming out of here is just fantastic. Oh, look at that reveal. Now that's chicken, man. That's good looking chicken. And I'm gonna take our temperature down to 225 because I gotta go cut this one in half and deliver to my mom who's waiting for her chicken. Because I promised her some amazing chicken, so we're gonna split it. And there we have it. Palestinian chicken done 2 ways. And Curb Your Enthusiasm. Check out that chicken. Wow. A little bit of the toum. Along with some lovely side. Check that chicken out. All right. Fogging up the camera. Let's tuck in.